Okay, now you say you read my book, Lord of the Giants,
Yeah.
and there's something in there that actually got your attention.
Yeah, it was the point that that in the book you mentioned that I can actually identify within myself certain words that had meaning to me.
So that you were actually putting yourself into what you were reading.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Well,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. It
Good.
sort of caught me.
Yep.
And I thought about it, and I thought, well, you and I had done the non-allowance and non-deservingness, and
Yep.
I wanted to discover a bit more. I thought I might find something. Anyway, I find this hard to talk about, but I found that one of what actually sort of almost broke me down when I was reading it and thought about it was
Like
that
emotionally, you
yeah,
could feel something happening within you.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say that as I'm feeling it.
You
As
feel it
as
now?
I'm saying, yeah,
Is it almost like wells up within you?
yeah,
Like you're almost overcome
yeah.
with the emotion?
No, you're right.
Okay.
It actually does make me a bit uncomfortable, and it's almost hard to say, but
Well, this is where you're vulnerable. You see, these are the things within you
yeah,
that have been suppressed all this time, and you feel very vulnerable when you bring them out.
yeah,
But once you bring them out, it's a release from prison. So I'm talking now just to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. So go on.
and what I found was, and I tried two different words, and the first one being to die.
To die.
Yeah,
Mhm.
death is the
Death.
first word I should say I used.
Death.
And
Death meaning to die. Okay.
yeah, and death, it kind of, I sort of stopped me for a second as I was thinking in the context, but it didn't hit it, and then I tried dying, and for me that was quite a powerful, that was where I broke down.
It touched you.
And I remember, and I read this book when I was going to bed that night, and I said repetitively before, so I had to put the book down, and that's why I stopped. I think you'll find that I only just picked up the book while I was sitting in the clinic, but I could have told you the exact page that was on. And I said to myself before I went to bed, and I tried, and I said, I deeply and completely release all fear of
Yes.
dying. And the second time I went to say it, and I even say it now, I don't know if you hear my voice, but again, it was, I had to sort of pull myself together again to say it again. And I said it, I could have told you, I would have said it about 30 times that night before I went to sleep. This is only 3 or 4 nights ago. And it really sort of struck a point on me.
Okay. So it was interesting how somehow or another,
Yeah.
after doing the first few things that we did, undeservedness and non-allowance, etc.,
Yeah.
and you're reading the book, it's almost like you're on a path or a journey of self-discovery,
Yeah.
and reading the book you actually were able to discover that for yourself.
Absolutely.
And even though I could test you for that,
Yeah.
once you begin to go through the process,
Yeah.
you'll be able to do it yourself. And this is very important for anyone watching this to
Yeah.
realise that once you get going, you can actually dig up these self-sabotage or blocks within your subconscious. You can actually unearth them yourself,
Yeah.
and once you know how to release them,
Yeah.
which we'll teach you in a moment, you can actually do it yourself. So it's
Yeah.
very much a do-it-yourself program.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
good if you can have a practitioner to work with you,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily have to have a practitioner. Once you get started, once you read the material,
Yeah.
once you see how it's done, virtually the world is your oyster,
Yeah.
because you can get rid of all this stuff that's been holding you back
Yeah.
that you haven't been aware of.
No, you're right. I agree with you. It was actually on the way here. I mean, I haven't even begun to release my fear of dying, but it got me excited in another way. I'm thinking, what else am I going to
Yes,
find that
yeah.
I've got fears
Yes,
of? You know.
yeah, it's like a great adventure.
But I must say that it didn't occur to me in the very beginning that my fear was of dying. It did take some time to discover that.
Okay, because it was obviously deeply embedded in your subconscious, and you didn't have a clue that that was there
Yeah,
until we started peeling back the layers of the onion.
exactly.
Now,
Right.
you've done a lot of personal development stuff, Tony Robbins, etc.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
lucky to be sent to that. Yeah.
You've done his seminars, etc.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of that helps for you. It's all part of the journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were given stuff to do
as a part of that.
But you didn't really apply that as well as you could have.
Yeah, I mean, it was very short-lived.
Okay.
It was it wasn't an ongoing.
So how do you think this compares with that sort of material?
Well, look, I mean, with Tony Robbins, I mean, my own personal experience was okay. It was mediocre. It didn't really move me. I was 17 at the time, being 19.
Okay, so
young.
maybe you were a bit too young for it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the same time, like I said the other night when I was chanting out, I deeply and completely release all fears of dying. You know, I can say it quite easily after I've
There you go. There you go.
that has been a lot more significant to me than that seminar that I went
Okay.
to.
Okay,
Anyway,
good.
that's,
Is there anything else you want to add before we finish, or are we out of time? Okay.
yeah, I think. I mean, I think the main point is that it didn't. It almost seems like it takes time to discover your fears.
Yes.
And I mean, it must have been. It was 3 weeks since we both had sat down, and you'd originally, took me through your program, and it wasn't until 3 weeks after that I sort of started to delve delve into myself.
Yep. So it took a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Before you were able to go there yourself, to take the journey yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was, and I think you mentioned it to me. At the time when you explained it to me, you did mention your own story, and you said to me that that when you find what your deepest fears are, they will rock your earth.
Yes,
almost.
yeah.
And I guess it's hard to hear that, and it didn't really. It maybe went in one ear and went out the other, you know. But after applying it to myself, I went through my own experience, and again, I can almost say it with my lips curling, trying to laugh over the top of my emotion. But yeah, for me, that fear was quite strong.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stephen. Okay.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay. Sorry to put you through that. Okay. Thank you.